Picture this. It's 6 in the morning on the West Coast, and thousands of Marvel fans are wide awake and refreshing Instagram because the Russo Brothers promised a surprise for the biggest movie of the year. And what do they get? Coffee. I'm not kidding. The big Avengers Doomsday surprise was a cup of coffee. And honestly, the story behind it is both dumber and funnier than you might think, because there's a hidden Doctor Doom joke buried in the whole stunt that almost nobody caught. There's a very good reason fans set their alarms in the first place, and there's one thing Marvel didn't do, that told you the entire thing was a trap. Let's get into it. So if you're somehow not caught up and have been living under a rock for the last several years, Avengers Doomsday is the next gigantic Marvel team-up, and it's set to hit theaters December 18th. The multiverse saga is building to a head, with Marvel heroes from 3 different multiverses, including the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, all colliding in one film. To say there's some hype for the movie would be a huge understatement. Now, the directors, Joe and Anthony Russo, the guys behind Infinity War and Endgame, have a production company called AGBO, and this week, AGBO started teasing something. It kicked off with a single, blank, green image posted to Instagram. That's it, a green square, and underneath it, the caption, "Something's brewing." A green square. The entire internet lost its mind over a green square. Stay with me, it actually gets better. It turns out that "something's brewing" was literal. The tease was for something called Dom Latveria, a special coffee blend being served at a place called Flying Horse Coffee in Shoreditch, London. Yeah, it was a coffee pop-up. And here's the part I love, because this is where the comic book nerd in me gets to geek out a little. Dom Latveria. Latveria is the fictional country ruled by Doctor Doom in the comics. It's his home turf. So Dom, or Doom, a coffee called Dom Latveria, it's a Doctor Doom pun on a latte, which is actually kind of brilliant, and we'll come back to whether brilliant is the right word. But the coffee isn't what got everybody worked up. It was the timing. And the timing is where this quietly turned into a trap. The day before, the Russos posted the shop's address and a little schedule. Starts June 2nd at 10 a.m. British summertime. Surprise at 2 p.m. British summertime. Now the 10 a.m. part, that was the coffee. Fine. But that 2 p.m. London time? Do the conversion. That's 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. And if you pay attention to typical movie marketing, especially Marvel and Disney, you know 9 a.m. Eastern is the exact window they love to drop new trailers. So fans did the math, put 2 and 2 together, and got trailer. First look at Doomsday, incoming, alarms were set, mimosas were poured, the hype was real. But here's the tell, the one thing that should have tipped everyone off. Marvel Studios' own social channels, completely silent. Didn't post, didn't repost, nothing. When Marvel has a trailer ready, Marvel isn't shy and makes sure to tell you about it. And this time they said nothing. Nada. So, 2 p.m. rolls around, the big surprise, and it is, the Russo Brothers, in person at the coffee shop, signing autographs and taking selfies. That's it. That's the surprise. No trailer, no teaser, no green square becomes Doctor Doom reveal. Just 2 directors and a meet and greet. And it gets a little spicier, because according to the reporting, a lot of the fans who happened to be there appear to have been invited by AGBO themselves, which makes the whole thing look less like a happy accident and a lot more like a planned marketing stunt. And oh, the internet is sharing their thoughts, especially on comicbookmovie.com. One commenter basically told Marvel to know its place in the current zeitgeist. Another said, flat out, that nobody set an alarm to watch 2 guys sign napkins. The word fuming is getting thrown around. A lot. But, and this is where it gets interesting, the fans aren't united. It's split into 2 camps. Camp 1, you hyped this, you set the time to match a trailer drop, you trolled us. This is on you. Totally fair. Camp 2, and they're just as loud. Why on earth would anyone debut the biggest movie of the year's first trailer at a coffee shop in Shoreditch? You invented a scenario in your own head and then got mad it didn't come true. Grow up. Also, kind of fair? And then there's the fact that the industry folks reportedly saw Doomsday footage at CinemaCon back in April, but the actual ticket-buying fans like you and me, still haven't seen a public trailer. When you dangle the word surprise in front of those people and then hand them a latte, you're bound to have some heat coming your way. So the real question isn't, was it a letdown? It's pretty obvious that it was. The real question is, was it actually a mistake? Or did it go according to plan? Here's where I land. Don't get me wrong, the optics aren't great. This is the same stretch where Disney fumbled the Mandalorian and Grogu's Super Bowl spot. So Marvel's marketing is a little wobbly right now, is a fair take. And there's a real argument that the Russos should just leave the big trailer stuff to Disney and Marvel and stick to, well, directing. But let's look at it in a different light. Right now, I'm making a video about a cup of coffee. You are watching a video about a cup of coffee. The Russos have gotten the superhero internet, sites, YouTubers, fan accounts, talking about Avengers Doomsday for a full day or more, and they did it without a single trailer or video clip. There's an old saying about there being no such thing as bad publicity, and a tiny, very annoying part of me wonders if that green square did exactly what it was supposed to do. Because buried in all of it, there was one real morsel. A first look at the Latveria flag from the movie has made the rounds. So mathematically speaking, and technically speaking, it wasn't a total zero on the actual content front. It just wasn't much, and definitely wasn't the trailer we've been dying to see. And look, the reason any of this lands at all is because Doomsday is genuinely stacked. We're talking Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, a brand new Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby, and X-Men legends like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen all in one movie. When the list reads like a fever dream, people are going to chase every single crumb, even if it's a coffee bean. The real trailer is still out there somewhere. Fans are already guessing it will show up at Comic-Con in July, which wouldn't be that much of a shock considering they didn't attend Comic-Con last year, and the year before that, they had the Galactus drone show. Or maybe it will show up alongside Spider-Man Brand New Day. For now, that's all fan speculation. What we do know is that Avengers Doomsday is set to hit theaters December 18th, even if it won't be on IMAX initially. All this comes from a great breakdown over on comicbookmovie.com by Josh Wilding. The link's in the description, so go give it a read. And I want to hear from you. Were you fuming, or were you laughing at everyone else being so upset? Did the Russos troll us, or did we troll ourselves? Drop your thoughts in the comments and I promise to read them. With our user-generated content, comicbookmovie.com is your source for superhero content that's created by fans, for fans like you and me. I'm Nate Best, founder of comicbookmovie.com, and I'll catch you on the next video if I don't see you on CBM first.